Hello, good afternoon. Today we will see virtual lab of theory of machines. Therefore, you must know the virtual lab. I will go back here. How to see the virtual lab. See that this is the virtual lab. In Google, you have to type virtual lab and then different virtual labs are there. IIT Bombay, IIT Kharagpur, Amrita University, IIT Guwahati. Therefore, we will select IIT KGP, means IIT Kharagpur. Again, we have to go to virtual lab home of IIT Kharagpur, V labs of IIT Kharagpur. Now there in the mechanical, you have to go to mechanical. Different branches are there: biotechnology, chemical, civil, computer science, electrical, electronics, mechanical, metallurgy, mining, and then for mechanical these 4 plus 4 plus 2 means 10 virtual labs are available on IIT Kharagpur website. Therefore, we will select these mechanisms and robotics lab. Now, this welcome to mechanisms and robotics lab. First of all, we will see introduction. For robotics subject also, we are going to study this virtual lab. Mechanism and robotics are the two vital and broader area of study and research within mechanical engineering. Mechanisms are used in variety of fixed motion generation applications in engineering, whereas robots are used in applications where programmable motion is required. This laboratory provides a primary exposure to design and control of such motion control applications in various applications, ranging from 2D planar mechanisms to that of spatial mechanism. Design a set of experiments are offered concerning position, velocity, and acceleration synthesis and analysis for basic motions. So within this lab, we will study about some open and closed chain mechanism as well as simulation of some industrial robots. Therefore, mechanism and simulation of some industrial robots we are going to study. Now list of experiments. These are the experiments. Experiments developed Move Master, forward kinematics of Puma 560. Puma we have studied. Puma is the robot manufacturing company. Inverse kinematics of Puma 560. 560 is the model. KGP 50. Therefore, these first 4 experiments are related to robot or robotics. And next 3, Oldham coupling mechanism, a quick return mechanism, cam follower mechanism. These are related to your kinematics and theory of machines subject, which you have studied in SY BTech Mechanical part 2nd. And last is robot teaching using VAL programming. This is the new experiment added. It is under evaluation. Therefore, first of all, we will study Oldham coupling mechanism because we have to first cover or we have to first study the virtual labs of all second year and third year subjects. Now this Oldham coupling mechanism. Introduction, theory, video tutorial, procedure, simulation references. Therefore, introduction. A mechanism is a combination of rigid or restraining bodies so shaped and connected that they move upon each other with a definite relative motion. A machine is a mechanism or a collection of mechanisms which transmits force from the source of power to the resistance to be overcome and thus perform a mechanical work. Mechanisms generally consist of moving components such as gears and gear trains, belt and chain drives, cam and follower mechanisms, and linkages, as well as friction devices such as brakes and clutches, and structural components such as the frame, fasteners, bearings, springs, lubricants, and seals, as well as a variety of specialized machine elements such as splines, pins, and keys. A coupling is a device used to connect two shafts together at their ends for the purpose of transmitting power. Couplings do not normally allow disconnection of shafts during operation. However, there are torque limiting couplings which can slip or disconnect when some torque limit is exceeded. An Oldham's coupling is a third inversion of double slider crank chain and which is obtained by fixing the connecting link that I will explain. It is again I will explain this diagram. It is used to join two shafts which have lateral misalignment. It consists of two flanges A and B with slots and a central floating part E with two tongs T1 and T2 at right angles as shown in figure 1. The central floating part is held by means of a pin passing through the flanges and the floating part. The tong T1 fits into the slot of flange A and allows for to and fro relative motion of the shafts, while the tong T2 fits into the slot of the flange B and allows for vertical relative motion of the parts. The resultant of these two components of motion will accommodate lateral misalignment of the shaft as they rotate. Therefore, whatever I have read here that I will explain in the diagram. First of all, this is the one flange. It is of circular shape. It is connected to suppose driving shaft. This is second flange or this link number 4, which is connected to the driven shaft. And this in between second and fourth, this third link is there. This is also of circular shape. This is also one type of disc. Now this disc is having two projection. One is vertical, diametral vertical, and one is diametral horizontal on the opposite faces of the disc. Therefore, this vertical projection will fit inside the slot of this link 2 or this flange 2, and this horizontal projection will fit in a slot of this disc 4 or link number 4. Therefore, when this driving shaft will rotate, this flange will rotate along with this disc will rotate, and this again this link 4 or this link flange will rotate and driven shaft will rotate. Therefore, your motion is transferred from link 1 to link 2 to the link 3 to the link 4 to the driven shaft like this. We will see the video also. You will understand it. I will show you the video, Oldham coupling, then you will understand it better. See that Oldham coupling is useful when shafts are not aligned to each other. It can take misalignment up to 20 mm. See that this intermediate piece is it is having two projections or tongs. See that this details, assembly and details. See that this is driving shaft, driving flange is connected here. It is having one slot. That slot is going to fit inside this tongue. See that how motion is transmitted from driving shaft to driven shaft. See that how motion is transmitted from driving shaft to the driven shaft through this intermediate piece. This intermediate piece is having two projections. See that exactly opposite to each other on two opposite faces. Therefore, this is nothing but Oldham coupling. Now theory. From the definition of mechanisms, it can be realized that by fixing the links of a closed chain one at a time, we can get as many different mechanisms as the number of links in the chain. This process of fixing different links of a same kinematic chain to produce distinct mechanisms is called kinematic inversion. That means what we are knowing that if suppose 4-bar chain is there or 4-link chain is there, therefore it is having 4 links. Therefore, if you will fix link number 1, you will get one inversion. If you will fix link number 2, you will get second inversion. If you will fix link number 3, you will get third inversion. And if you will fix link number 4, you will get fourth inversion. Therefore, by the process of fixing the different links and obtaining the different inversions, that process is known as inversion of mechanism. That process is known as inversion of mechanism. And mechanism means what? When one of the link in a kinematic chain is fixed, then it is known as mechanism. Therefore, by distinct, it is meant that the input-output relation as given by the absolute motions of the links connected to the frame is different for these mechanisms. An Oldham coupling is a third inversion of a double slider crankchain. Now, double slider crankchain means what? It consists of two sliding pairs and two turning pairs. Therefore, this is the first inversion of double slider crankchain. This is known as elliptical trammel, which is used to draw the ellipse. A double slider crankchain consists of 4 links forming two sliding pairs and two turning pairs. Hence, the two pairs of the same kind are adjacent. They are 3 important inversions of double-sided crankchain. First is elliptical trammel, second is Scotch-Yoke mechanism, third is Oldham's coupling. Now this diagram indicates the elliptical trammel. You just see there are 4 links. This link number 1 is this slider B, link number 2 this link AB, link number 3 this is again slider A, and link number 4 is this slotted plate. Therefore, if you will see, this slotted plate is fixed. Slotted plate is fixed, and here two turning pairs and two sliding pairs are there. See that this slider B will slide in this horizontal slot of this slotted plate, and slider A will slide in this vertical slot of the slotted plate. Therefore, again, this elliptical trammel, its video will see, you will understand it more clearly. elliptical trammel. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, see here now. Okay, this mechanism you can see again. See that this slotted bit is fixed. These two sliders are there. Whenever they will slide any point on this link AB will trace out ellipse. See that how this any point on the link AB will trace ellipse. See here, any point on the link AB will trace ellipse when these two sliders will slot in their respective slots. Therefore, this is nothing but elliptical trammel. Now this Oldham coupling already we have seen. Again we will see because it is there in this theory. An Oldham coupling is a third inversion of double-sided crank chain and which is obtained by fixing the connecting link, that is link 2. Each of the two die blocks may then turn about the pins B and C. If one block is turned through a definite angle, the frame and the other block must turn through the same angle, and as rotation takes place, the frame will slide relative to each of the two blocks. This coupling is used for connecting two parallel shafts when the distance between the shafts is small. The two shafts to be connected have flanges at their ends secured by forging. Slots are cut in the flanges. In Oldham's coupling, each half coupling is identical in the form and has a single groove cut diametrically across the face, a circular disc with a tongue passing diametrically across each face, and the two tongues set at right angles to each other is placed between the two half couplings so that each tongue fits into its corresponding groove in one of the half couplings. When the driving shaft 1 is rotated, the flange B, see that this driving shaft is connected to this flange, it is having horizontal slot. This driven shaft is connected to the link number 3, it is having vertical slot. This intermediate piece is having two slots diametrically opposite to each other. These are two projections, they will fit in the respective discs. Therefore, as stated earlier, an Oldham coupling is used for connecting two parallel shafts whose axes are at a small distance apart. That small distance is up to 20 mm only. If the distance between the axes of the shafts is constant, the center of intermediate piece will describe a circle of radius equal to the distance between the axes of the two shafts. Therefore, the maximum sliding speed of each tongue along its slot is equal to the peripheral velocity of the center of the disc along its circular path. Therefore, this V is equal to R omega, where omega is equal to angular velocity of each shaft in radian per second. R is equal to distance between the axis of the shafts in meters. Therefore, maximum sliding speed of each tongue in meter per second is given by V is equal to R omega. Now this video tutorial, see here, Oldham coupling. Procedure. First, insert a value of shaft driving speed omega within the suitable range and then click OK to get output sliding velocity of the slider. Drag the slider to see the motion of the mechanism at that particular speed. The view can be rotated about a point by keeping the left mouse button pressed. Therefore, this is the procedure. The view can be translated by keeping the right mouse button pressed and translating the mouse in the desired direction. The scroll button or middle mouse button can be used for zooming. If we will see the simulation, then you will understand it. Therefore, whatever procedure they have told, according to that we will go. Insert a value of shaft driving speed omega within a suitable range and then click OK to get output sliding velocity of the slider. Therefore, this will give 10 radian per second. Okay, see that this sliding velocity we are getting 1.5 meter per second. Then what is second? Drag the slider to see the motion of the mechanism at that particular speed. Therefore, we will drag the slider. This is the slider here to see the motion. Here they have given. The view can be rotated about a point by keeping the left mouse button pressed and rotating the mouse. The view can be translated by keeping the right mouse button pressed and translating the mouse in the desired direction. The scroll button or middle mouse button can be used for zooming. Therefore, see that. Therefore, this is the Oldham coupling simulation we have seen. These are the references. These are the references for NPTEL course. Already you have learned this Oldham coupling. Now we will see second experiment in theory of machine, that is a quick return motion mechanism. Therefore, quick return motion mechanism, name itself indicates quick return. Quick return means what? Your return should be quick. Now, where this quick return motion mechanism is used, you will find its use in shaping machine and slotting machines. Now, in shaping machines, you are knowing that two cuts are there. First is forward stroke or cutting stroke, and second is the return stroke. Therefore, forward stroke is known as cutting stroke. Cutting stroke time should be more as compared to return stroke, or return stroke time should be less as compared to the forward stroke or cutting stroke. Therefore, at that time, to achieve quick return motion, this quick return motion mechanism is used. Now, introduction. A quick return mechanism is an apparatus that converts circular motion into reciprocating motion in presses and shaping machines, which are utilized to shape stalks of metal into flat surfaces. This mechanism is mostly used in shaping machines, slotting machines, and in rotary internal combustion engines. The word quick return indicates that the returning stroke is faster than the forward stroke or cutting stroke, which help the tool to retrieve back faster after doing a particular job. Quick return mechanisms feature different input durations for their working and return strokes. The time ratio of quick return mechanism is the ratio of the change in input displacement during the working stroke to its change during the return stroke. Now theory. From the definition of mechanisms, it can be realized that by fixing the links of a closed chain one at a time, we can get as many different mechanisms as the numbers of link in the chain. This process of fixing different links of a same kinematic chain to produce distinct mechanisms is called kinematic inversion. By distinct, it is meant that the input-output relation as given by the absolute motions of the links connected to the frame is different for these mechanisms. An Oldham's coupling is a third inversion of a double slider crank chain. Now this quick return motion mechanism is the inversion of single slider crank chain. Single slider crank chain means what? It consists of 3 turning pairs and 1 sliding pair. Therefore, crank and slotted lever quick return motion mechanism and Whitworth quick return motion mechanism. These two mechanisms we will see, and afterwards we will see its video. Inversions of single slider crank chain. A single slider crank chain is a 4-link mechanism. We know that by fixing in turn different links in a kinematic chain, an inversion is obtained, and we can obtain as many mechanisms as the links in a kinematic chain. It is thus obvious that 4 inversions of a single slider crank chain are possible. These inversions are found in the following mechanisms: pendulum pump or bull engine, oscillating cylinder engine mechanism, rotary internal combustion engine or gnome engine, crank and slotted lever quick return motion mechanism, and Whitworth quick return motion mechanism. Now all these 5 videos we'll see. First of all, we'll see this theory of this crank and slotted lever quick return motion mechanism and this Whitworth quick return motion mechanism. Now you just see this from the diagram itself. I will explain. This is the quick return motion mechanism. This you will see. This is the fixed link AC. This is the slotted bar link number 4. This is the connecting rod which is connected to the ram, and this is the tool. This is the slider link number 1, and this BB dash is the slider. Sorry, BC is the link, and at the point B slider is connected. This crank BC is the link number 2. Therefore, when this crank BC will rotate, what will happen? It will rotate like this. Then this slotted plate is there, slotted plate AP. It will oscillate. It will oscillate, and this motion of this slotted plate is transferred to this ram or to the tool through this link PR or through the connecting rod PR. Now if you will see, when the crank rotates, crank BC rotates from through an angle alpha, or first of all we'll see the forward stroke through an angle beta in clockwise direction from B1 to B2 in clockwise direction through an angle beta. Then forward cutting stroke is there, and when the crank BC rotates through an angle alpha or from B2 to B1, return stroke is there. Now if you will see, angle traced during forward stroke beta is more than the angle traced during the return stroke. Therefore you can say that quick return motion is achieved because angle traced during return stroke is less as compared to angle traced during forward stroke. Again, now we'll see this Whitworth quick return motion mechanism. This Whitworth quick return motion mechanism is there. Now you just see this here, CD link is fixed link number 2. Then this slotted bar is there, link number 1. Then this slider is there, link number 4. And this driving crank is there, link number 3, AC. AC. Therefore, if you will see, this slotted in this slotted plate, this slider A is going to slide, and at the same time this slotted plate AP will oscillate, and that motion is transmitted to the RAM and to the tool. Now if how the quick return motion is achieved. Now if you will see in the diagram, when this sliding block will rotate. Now this sliding block is having two motions, both rotary and reciprocity. When it rotates from A1 to A2 through an angle alpha, then forward stroke is there or cutting stroke is there. And when it will rotate from A2 to A1 through an angle beta, return stroke is there. Therefore, if you will see that the angle traced during return stroke is less as compared to angle traced during cutting stroke. Therefore, you can say that angle tracing is directly proportional to the time required. Therefore, since angle traced during return stroke is less as compared to angle traced during cutting stroke, therefore you can say that quick return motion is achieved. Now we will see its videos, then you will understand it more. Quick return motion mechanism. Crank and slotted lever. Quick return motion mechanism. See, this is the cutting stroke, this is the return stroke. Cutting stroke, return stroke. Cutting stroke, return stroke. Time of cutting stroke divided by time of return stroke is equal to angle A divided by angle B. See this, angle A is greater than angle B. See that, quick return, forward stroke, quick return. Cutting stroke, return stroke. We will see second animation. Now we will see Whitworth quick return motion mechanism. See that this Whitworth quick return motion mechanism. This is forward stroke. This is a return stroke. See here how the quick return motion is there. We can increase or decrease the size of pin and diameter of the pin. Return stroke, cutting stroke. See that quick return, return stroke, cutting stroke, return stroke. Cutting stroke, return stroke, cutting stroke, means this crank they have rotated clockwise or anti-clockwise. Return stroke, cutting stroke, return stroke, cutting stroke, return stroke. Therefore, this is nothing but Whitworth quick return motion mechanism. This video tutorial you just see. Already I've seen video, but still it is there. Therefore, procedure again same is there, simulation. procedure we'll see. Insert a value of shaft driving speed omega within the suitable range and then click OK to get the output sliding velocity of the slider. Drag the slider to see the motion of the mechanism at that particular speed. See that? Cutting stroke. This is cutting stroke. This is a return stroke. Cutting stroke, return stroke. Cutting stroke, return stroke. Cutting stroke, return stroke. Therefore, like this, quick return motion mechanism is there. Simulation we have seen. These are the references. Now we'll see videos of these various pendulum pump, oscillating cylinder engine, and rotary internal combustion engine. Rotary internal combustion engine. See that this rotary internal combustion engine. See that this engine means the cylinders are rotating. Rotary internal combustion engine. Now here crank is rotating, but the crank is fixed. See that this crank is there and how these pistons are reciprocating when crank rotates. Because all the connecting rods are coupled to the common crank. See that this is now actual animation of rotary combustion engine. Cylinders are rotating, crank is fixed, so that these pistons will move, will reciprocate inside the cylinders. See here. This is the actual animation of rotary internal combustion engine. Now we'll see pendulum pump. Pendulum pump animation. See here pendulum pump. It is also known as bull engine. By fixing the cylinder, when the crank rotates, the connecting link oscillates and the attached pistons reciprocates. Animations there afterwards. See that when this crank is will rotate, this link will oscillate. Pistons are reciprocating inside the cylinder. Then next is oscillating cylinder engine. This is the last inversion of single slider crank chain. Then we'll stop. Oscillating cylinder engine. That is, cylinder is going to oscillate. Converting reciprocating movement into rotary used in steam engines. It is obtained, this energy obtained by fixing the connecting rod. This connecting rod is fixed. See that how the cylinder is oscillating. This connecting rod is fixed and crank is directly connected to the piston rod. How cylinder is oscillating. Therefore, this is nothing but inversions of single slider crank chain or quick return motion mechanism. We have seen. Now let me take your attendance, then we'll stop. First of all, let me stop the recording.